What's up, everybody? It's Staff Andrew here, and today we're going to be talking about injuries. All right, not that I hurt my knee, but we're talking about how you can take care of any injury that you have. The first 4 steps that you could do on your own before you decide if it's serious enough or you have to go to the hospital. But before we start, of course, I want to start you off with a quote, and the quote is, "To be the change you wish to see in the world." As you may know, what you see in the news and things like that, it's important to be that change and be that light in your own home, with your friends and family. And as I've said in the past, to treat others how you want to be treated, that kind of falls in the same direction as this quote here. So continue to be the change you wish to see, continue to be good people, and good things will happen. All right. So getting into an injury, all right, as athletes, it happens a lot. All right, we roll an ankle, we tweak a knee, our wrist. All right, I want to introduce you to something called the rice method. Yes, rice, like rice that you put in a flour corn tortilla, or you eat rice and beans. Okay, and it's an acronym for rest, ice, compress, elevate. Okay, so rest, the one thing that nobody wants to do is to chill out. When you get hurt, you actually need to relax and rest. Okay, the next thing you need to do is ice. Now, this is not ice, but if you don't have ice in your freezer, you can always use a cold pack of vegetables or fruit that you have in there, or anything cold, and put it on your injury. All right, so boom. Step number 2, you got your ice. All right, so you want to alternate about 10 to 15 minutes on, 10 15 minutes off. All right, it's going to help with the swelling, it's going to help with the pain, okay, and it's going to help you heal faster. Next thing you want to do is compress. So what you want to do is get some type of ace bandage and want to wrap your knee. All right, a bunch of different ways that you can wrap it. Now, this doesn't apply just to knees. Any injury that you have, ankle, your wrist, your finger, you want to make sure and compress. Now, once you've compressed, okay, what this does is it helps keep the swelling down. So after you ice, put the compression, it's going to keep the swelling down. Next thing you want to do is elevate. So you want to bring your leg up, your knee above your heart. Okay, that's going to help keep the blood and all the different fluids from when you have an injury. It's going to keep the fluid out of your knee so that all the nutrients and vitamins that help heal an injury can go there and help heal. All right, so let's review. Rest, 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 rest. Ice or frozen vegetables. Compress and elevate. And relax, put on your favorite cartoons and TV. Take care of your body. All right, I'll see you guys next time.